Welcome to Alley Danks episode 4. Hi, Bill.
Hi Konstantinos, hi everybody. Episode 4, but we're gonna be covering round 5 of Euroleague. Um, as you can see already in our screen, we have our tweets from round 4. It was a double week, too much action, and we decided to go with a different format when we can give suggestions uh, per position and for coaches as well. And that went quite well for us, especially for the coaches. We did have 8 out of 10 predictions coming our way between round 3 and round 4, and especially round 4, we had all of our predictions going well. So we have 5 out of 5 with Ataman, Itoudis, Sasa, and Zelimir Obradovic, and Katas all winning. And actually, the cheaper the option, the highest the payout. Um, as Zelimir gave 25 fantasy points, Katas 20 fantasy points. So happy days there.
That's true. That's true. So, should we move on for Sanders? Or you have anything to add?
Actually, maybe what we can do, and I can switch my screen, is give my our predictions
Mm-hmm.
for coaches this round. And this round, as you would realize, there are many derby, many big games happening. So the first two coaches, the most expensive ones, are playing each other. Great Turkish derby there in Istanbul. So we stay away from that for now. Um, Barca probably has the upper hand on their home game, but still is a tough one versus Messina, so another top tier coach playing against another one. So from all this, high value coaches, the one that stands out probably is Mateo from Real Madrid, because they're playing against Virtus Bologna. Virtus Bologna, at the moment, they haven't impressed as of yet. Um, Real Madrid hasn't impressed either. So it's gonna be a strange game, but with a home court advantage and 8.9 credits, Mateo is our first choice there. And then if we go on the mid market, we have Katas that we believe with 7.9 actually seems a more strong case versus Mateo. So they're playing at home again versus Panathinaikos. And we also have Zelimir Obradovic going for the second win. They will try to get their second week this week at home versus Zalgiris. So that could be a tough game as well, but probably they will have the upper hand. And then if we go to the lower value ones, I think it's going to be two tough choices. So we have Penaroya for Baskonia. They're playing against Asvel in France. So it's going to be a tough game, but I think they have what it takes to get back on the winning ways after losing to Olympiacos last round. And lastly, I think there is a good chance for Trinchieri with 5.3 credits and Bayern to get their first win. It is a really tough one because it's on the road in Serbia. But if someone wants to give it a try and doesn't have enough credits, maybe Trinchieri with 5.3 could be a choice to look at.
Yes, that's like thinking out of the box, but I like it. Yes. So now let's move to the center position from what
Mhm.
I see in our Twitter. By the way, don't forget to follow us in Twitter. We update all the latest information and we post every transfer news, every latest injuries. That, as you see, we had, for example, for Shields from Armani last week. Uh, so stay tuned also and follow us on Twitter. Let's move on now to the center position. That from what we see, we had the expensive, the top tier options, which were Tavares, Lesort, and Ledey from Partizan. The mid tier, which was Fall and Cornelier, and the choice is out of the box. The most credit wise, Kumaje and Pradilla. From what you see, most of the choices gave good points, especially Lesort from top tier market. Fall, but who can say no to Kumaji? Kumaji is in a great form lately, and he is very, very productive for Alba Berlin. So, Bill, can
And
we switch?
actually, and
Yeah,
actually, Tavares gave also 18.7 as well on this one.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, and then for this round, then
Mm-hmm.
time to check the centers.
Yep. So we see Tavares is playing at home versus Virtus, which I know we know we have Virtus has many good players in the paint, but you know Tavares is Tavares. He is the guy to play at the five, and he's getting not many minutes, like he's not going for 30 or more, but still for 25 minutes, he's very productive for his team. So it's one of the choices that we will recommend and we stick by, and from the top tier market again. And then you see Vesely has a game at home versus Romani, but we still Motley has a derby versus Aves, so we go to Lesor. Yes, for 13 credits, this Sander, I think is his year. Honestly, he fits very well with Željko Bradovic system, and he's very very productive. And for 13 credits, I think he is a must get, because if you see also the playing time, he always gets, last game he get 26 minutes, but you see it's 40 39, so he will get his minutes definitely also in this round.
And he seems to
Mhm.
be around double figures,
Mhm.
two
Mhm.
times out of four. So yeah, it grabs at least 6 rebounds, as we can see here.
He's contributing in this area a lot for Partizan
Hmm.
in the rebounding. From the mid market choices that we have, that's less than 10 credits.
Or less than 11 if
That's on
they
11.
increase the value. Yeah.
Yes, because as you see, some players are very very good, so they start with less value, and now they start, for example, from the deep value level, and now they're in mid tier already. One of those players is Nebo, as you see, with 10.8 credits. He's playing versus Panathinaikos, but as you see, versus as well, he had a good game with 12 points and 4 rebounds from what I see in total. So he could, bounce back from a bad game versus Monaco, but we think that this round he will again be productive for Kata's team
Mhm.
and give points also for our teams. And
Then I need to,
yes, just lower the value to 10, I think.
yeah. There we
Yes,
are.
yes. So then we see with 9.5 credits, Yusufa Fall from Ashwell. Uh, Yusufa Fall is playing very, very um, steady, I would say. He has he after the first round he's performing and sometimes he's excelling. He's very good. He's getting time. He is score points and getting rebound. As you see, he gets the last games was 17 versus Fenerbahce, but still he gets 23 minutes definitely per game. And also, unfortunately, as well, will miss Geoffrey Laverne for we don't know now. It's maybe for 6 months or less or more. We don't know. He had unfortunately an injury in his knee, so he will miss time. We wish all the best to Geoffrey and come back
So
stronger.
unlucky.
Yes,
Second year with a big injury. Yeah, hope he's back as soon as possible.
true, true. So basically, number five for Yusufa Fall is open now. So that's one of the choices that we have from the mid market. And let's go to the deep value, as we like to say, choices. And if we did not say Kumaje, I know we will be forgetting the most value for money center that you can have in your team, definitely for this round. Um, if you see Kumaje, he is performing exceptionally well. Thank you, Bill. You're pointing at 2.2 blocks, right? From what I
Yeah,
see.
2.8 blocks. Yes.
2.8 blocks. He
Yeah,
is
amazing.
the he's like controlling the pain for Alba Berlin. Definitely, definitely.
So
And mhm,
he had 6 blocks. I was watching that. I was, surprised. He had 6 blocks against FS on the previous game. But as you can see, at least he averaged 1 or 2 on the previous game. So it's not just
mhm,
a flick. He is on it. And I think you mentioned that on one of our previous episodes, Kostadinos, the
mhm.
way that Berlin works on their own players and they develop them is just it's just so nice and beautiful to see. Um, and yeah, also Misic actually was saying that after the game.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
Kumaje
That's
is the
true.
best example, I think.
Yes, it was great to see such a good player saying these nice words about an organization, about a team. I really like that Alba responded with a thank you tweet on Twitter for to Vasily Misic. But it's exactly what you see and how what you say. We see
Hmm.
Kumaje, his teammates, they're putting him on the right spot, of course, coach as well, but he's on the right spot, not only defensively, but also offensively, because he's contributing with scoring points. So I think Kumaje is a must get, in our opinion. And he's playing versus Valencia away in Spain this round.
Cool. So then I guess we can move to the next. That here, according to what we tweeted, we had tweeted guards before that. So we're gonna get to guards now. So last time we had Misic, that he was productive. So Misic and Walkup, they were two good pickups for us. They both scored 23.1. But the rest of the pickups were not very satisfied with the performance. We had Kalathis 11, Baldwin 13.2. But in the end of the day, both of the deep value, they gave us double figures. Blood 12. I think he can do better as well. And Larezak is 14.3. So all in all, I think it was the position that we didn't do as well, compared to the other positions where we had good results. So I guess what we can do is similarly, um, go back to fantasy and get on with our picks, Konstantinos.
Mhm. So we start from the top tier market. So we see on top Mike James. Mike James had an amazing, spectacular game versus Panathinaikos in Athens, leading his team to victory, another away victory. So he is the guy for the guard position. He is the main scorer of the team. So I know you may see the 16 credits, but with 21.8 points in average, I think he needs to be in your team because he is that good. Then another suggestion is Lorenzo Brown. You scroll, yeah. As you see, Lorenzo Brown, he is, if you see, he is giving points, 14, the average, but also 7.5 assists and 3.5 rebounds. So that means that he's contributing to several different areas for Maccabi. He's playing versus Panathinaikos at home, and we think that because he is so effective as a player, he will have one of his good games versus Panathinaikos. Of course, if we also see, yep, Bill, if you go back to Lorenzo Brown, did
Oh,
you click?
sorry. Yeah.
No
Hmm.
worries. If we see, yes, if you go all the way to the right, we see that he's getting a lot of minutes. So
Yeah.
that will not be an issue for Lorenzo Brown versus Panathinaikos.
Hmm.
And another choice we have, yes, is with 11.4 credits.
With the way they have appreciated in value, Konstantinos, it seems like
Mhm.
this could have even been mid-market. Look how many players we're skipping to get
True,
down to uh, this level. But yeah,
true. And of course,
back to you.
some players, thank you. For example, some players like Howard, who had, I mean, two games that he was on fire, literally on fire. Unfortunately, he got injured. So we had another
Sorry,
injury. Yes.
can I say something out of our predictions? But
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna pinpoint the people to go straight to them, so it
Yeah.
won't be that annoying. I
Yeah.
just feel like Howard, he performed that well, and it was such a joy to watch him. His moves, the ease that he can, move with the ball and without. It seems to me that if he comes back healthy and if he stays on the same level, um, he's a long shot, but I think he could be the hot name for the summer. I was that impressed with him.
You mean for free agency for Europe this
I
summer? Yes,
I don't know what contract he has, but I guess no matter what, I think he will be a hot name
I
for.
agree. If he comes back and he continues to perform at that level, he will definitely will look for a transfer in one of the main European teams. So the other option that we have, and as Bill said, we skip so many players and good players, but our choice is Chris Jones from Valencia for 11.4 credits. So Chris Jones' last games have been lately very, very good. He gets his minutes, like you see, he get 27 and 28 minutes in the last two Euroleague games versus FS and Fenerbahce, and he scored 15 and 16 points. But at the same time, you see, for example, versus FS, he's having 8 assists, and versus Fener, he has 7 rebounds. So he again, he is a multidimensional player. He's not looking only to score for himself or to create for his teammates, but he wants to be a team player. And in this case, we select Chris Jones and we suggest Chris Jones from one of the top tier market
Mhm.
choices. And again, with 11.4, you may have Chris Jones and you may spend more in another position if you want.
Yeah, is a cheap top tier selection for
Mhm.
guards. And then if we go then to mid market selections, um, then we do have Winston from Bayer. That's because of the form. He had a very good game versus Armani, scored 20 points, and he gave 28 fantasy points. And that's with Bayern in the end losing the game and only in 23 minutes played, right? So such a great performance. Now in German league, he also had an amazing game that he scored again on double figures. So he seems to be on a good form. So that's our pick with 9.6. And then we have, let's see, on the next page, we have Evans with 9.2. He's playing versus Partizan away. But again, as you can see, he's contributing almost 15 points on average. And he's the player that, everything pretty much goes through his hands for Zalgiris when he's on the floor. Last game against Barcelona, he scored 18 points in that big win. So if he keeps on the momentum and he gets always above 20 minutes and he has scored consecutive double digits on fantasy, so it seems like a safe option. And then we do have another one for mid market, and that's Blood. We spoke about it just earlier. um, Blood with 8, as you can see at the top of the page, with 8 credits, again scoring double figures. And he's actually becoming Berlin's main ball handler. You can see 32, 26, and 32 minutes played. Um, and he scores always around 15 points. Um, Very stable. It's only last week versus Fenerbahce that he actually gave less than 16 fantasy points. So probably against Valencia is a good chance for him to bounce back on this on his average points.
And also for Blood, let me add
Mm,
that if you see he has 6 assists per game.
yeah,
So that's also a big plus for Blood and for us for 8 credits.
and 6 assists with 1.8 turnover.
Yes,
Yeah, quite nice.
it's like, as you said about the development of young players,
Yeah.
when it comes to Alba, huge respect, huge respect. And let's move to the deep value uh, section. Now we had a bit of, you know, where to find, who to find questions because most of the players have moved to the mid tier, as you see, because of they're playing well, so their price is increasing. But still, one of the players that we uh, no, both are on the same page. So if you scroll a bit down, yeah,
Hmm.
one of the players that we said also last time is Larantzakis, that you see with 6.5 credits, 11.5 points contributing to the team. I think, if I remember correctly, that I read that Larantzakis is the top scorer in the fourth quarter in Euroleague among all players.
Correct.
That that shows how valuable he is for his team and the coach, of course, Coach Berzokas, because it's very important who are the 5 players who are closing the game. So you see Larantzakis there, and you see how he contributes. So for 6.5 credits, I think he has to be a lock from deep value choices, but still he is playing so mature this year, and I think he is the, I don't know, maybe he gets an award for the 6 month of the year. We'll see.
Sixth player of the year. That would be nice.
Yes,
We had
yes.
one.
I mean, with his performance, he deserves it so far, in my opinion. And then if you see all the other names we were discussing with Bill, who, yes, but what? But to be honest, one player that stood out because he is starting to picking up his game is Madar from Partizan. For 6.6 credits, if you see in the last two games, he gave double digits in 11 and 12.1. He scored double digits, 10 and 11 points, and he had four assists versus Armani and two assists versus Virtus. So he's starting to picking up and to show that he is the talent that we all know and what we expect from him. He's playing with Partizan versus Algiris at home, so it will be another game that he can contribute more to the team, and he's getting playing time as we see from the box. It's like, as you see, it's like 24 minutes that he's getting playing time, so he still can get his minutes to contribute to the team.
And then moving on to forwards finally. So last week we had Vezenkov, Kleiber, and Seals. Unfortunately, Seals got injured just within 6 minutes of playing time. But both Vezenkov and Clyburn score really high. Clyburn 23.1, Vezenkov 31.9. He seems unstoppable at the moment. And then we had an unfortunate selection with Brasdeikis that didn't go very well. And Musa was also very high, 18.7. Smith's very high, 16.5. And Sorkin on the deep value, 16.5 as well. And Wetzel unfortunately didn't contribute much. So this round, four forwards. Getting back to the list here, I mean, there is no much to think about, right? We said two times in a row, buy Vezenkov while you can. It's now 16.5. I mean, at a point he may have a bad game, but he started at 14.10 credits. We were fortunate enough to have him from day one. But anyone that needs to get him on its team later, it's really getting really expensive. So better soon than later, unless then you wait for some maybe unfortunate games for his value to drop. But as of now, he's scoring two, as you can see here, 31.4, 31.4 fantasy points, 23 average points, 8.2 rebounds. I mean, what can you say? He's really on his game. He has a tough game though. They're playing against Monaco at home, so we stick with Vezenkov there, and again we stick with Clyburn. That he has a difficult game, as we said, versus Fener, but he has an amazing start of the season. He's having 24 fantasy games average. He's scoring 20 points per game, and he's doing a little bit of everything, as we know. You know, as we were used from him, especially from back in his days in CSKA.
So then we have the mid market choices that we have. So we decided that we can stick with Musa for 9.9
Hmm.
credits because he's playing at home versus Virtus. And of course, we saw that he had one bad game, yes, but Musa is Musa. He is that good. He has this quality to bounce back and still contribute to Real Madrid. Just think about it. Real this summer had Musa and Hezonja join the team, and so far Musa is the one who is the main player, the main forward for Real Madrid at the moment. But because I see Brasdeikis over there, I don't think we will go there. But we will go to his teammate today. So it's at the end of the page. You'll see Smiths. Smiths is a new addition for 9 credits. But if you see, he has 11.8 points scoring. So he's contributing also for rebounds, but still he is the scorer from the forward position for Zalgiris at the moment. So he's effective. So for 9 credits, I mean, why not? He's one of the mid market choices. And the last one is, I think, on second page or third page. So if you see the fourth name from what I see on the list is Sedekerskis, 7.9 credits, but 9.2 points scored. So he is, if he has, if you see, he's giving double digit credits, points, I'm sorry. And versus Olympiacos, such a good team, he gave 18 with 15 points scored. And if you show Bill, if you scroll to the right, look at his playing time. He's getting his
20
minutes.
minutes.
He's getting his minutes. Doesn't mean that he will play 5 minutes or 10 minutes. No, he will play 20 minutes minimum. And he is effective. And for that amount of credits, I think he's a must get.
Yeah, definitely agree. Um, then if we go even lower on the deep value selections, we go under 7 here to find Zusman. That lately on this double week he has bounced back with double figures. As you can see, he scored 14.3 and 17, so an average of around 15, and double figures on points as well. He is getting similarly with Sedekerski, sorry, before he's getting at least 20 minutes minimum, and he's playing at Valencia, so hopefully he can keep on the good performances from this week. Then we stick with Sorkin as we did last week and paid off. So Sorkin had a great double week as well with very high returns, and he's playing versus Panathinaikos. Um, Again, minutes at home, and then minutes he's expected to play at least 15 to 20 minutes as well. So a good minutes for a role player. And finally, a very popular selection is Marinkovic with just 5.5. So if you completely run out of credits, that's the only selection really we had um, across all our players' positions with less than 6. Um, And Marinkovic, he had a good double week with 11 fantasy points on each of the games. He scored on double figures on both of his games that they were home. He's now playing at Asvel, but again, he's expected to have the minutes and hopefully he can do something good with them.
I see a lot of Baskonia players, right?
Yeah, um, yeah, especially on the mid market and deep value.
Hmm.
And Baskonia is doing quite well.
Yeah.
They are only one loss in these first four games,
Hmm.
so really good start for them. I guess what we
Should
can
we
do now is move to yes to our team.
should we move to our team so we can start with the alley-oop dunks?
Yes, so let
So
me just get
yeah,
team round four.
I
There you go.
mean, I mean, you see how important you see is the to have the right coach. Only from Coach Katash, we got 20 points, which are very, very crucial and important in the fantasy because then you see, of course, we had Vejankov as a captain who gave us 63.80. Amazing again. James had a good game. And before even we go to Tavares, we just mentioned three, two players and the coach before we even go to Tavares. And he also gave 18.70. But then you see the importance also of having deep value players. Sorkin gave us 16.50, which is very, very high for a deep value choice. And of course, Thompson with 12, Blatt as well. And then you see from the bench, the 50%, yes, Fall 7, and Laranzaki 7.15, from what I see.
Um, the
Mhm,
point Constantinos around the coach.
mhm,
Yes, we had a very good double week because we had 25 from Gonzalez
mhm.
and then 20 from Oded
Katash.
Katas.
Mhm,
And I think keeping that in mind and, that our selections for coaches included before Katas, I think we ought to keep him
mhm,
now that he, as we can see here, he has increased his value from 7.5 to 7.9.
mhm. And I think Maccabi will like to build the momentum, of winning in their
Yeah,
home court as well. But I
yes,
see, is that correct what I see? No Tavares on the team?
exactly.
I
So
think,
here on,
yeah,
on the right, you can see our round changes. Although Tavares gave us
18.
18.7, as you mentioned, um, Lesor seems to be on the right format this time, and he's cheaper. So Lesort is 13, while Tavares is a 14.8. So doing that change, it will get 1.8 more credit for us, and with that, we are able to bring Brown in the team.
I think, I think it's a good, both are good changes because, of course, we're letting Tavares go, but still we have Lesor and we update, and upgrade the position with Brown instead of Thompson.
Yeah, we struggled a little bit because we were thinking also about Clyburn. We could also get Misic, um, but we thought we need to stick to this plan, as if we were getting Clyburn or Misic in the team, then we would have to um, get some very low value players that probably won't give us that much. So we thought for this week, two players that they are not on the highest value, but on the lower tier of the high value would be a better choice than just one player on the levels of Misic, Tavares, and Kleiber.
Mhm. Yes, that's true. We had several different, teams in our minds, but we decided to stick with this team. Also, we thought about having Misic instead of James because they are both in with 16 credits. But at the end, we said, okay, let's keep James because he's the maestro of Monaco, and FS has both. They have tough game, but Monaco is like rolling really well, and FS is coming from a defeat from the Turkish National League.
I think the main risk that we have in our selection here of the team is the captain. If something doesn't go well for Vezenkov, then we actually have only one player to get on the captain duty for round two, and that will be four.
Mhm.
That he's actually, as you said, as you mentioned earlier, he will probably get increased time with Lovrenov. And he's been solid for us since the start, since we have him on from day one. Um, but still, Mrs. is playing on round two, so maybe it could be also something we may consider till the last minute whether we need a change between James and Mrs. just in case of security for round two, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. So again, if we make any change, we will post it on Twitter. So we will let you know there if
Yeah,
we make any adjustment.
just wanted to mention now we are 140 in the ranks, so we really need another good game to stay within the top 200. It's gonna be tough.
I know it's very very difficult to get up up up. You need to have the right captain. You need to have the right mid level and deep value players on the team so they can contribute.
Speaking about deep value,
Mhm.
that's the team that we didn't do great with. Our second team, let's say our um, development team, as you would see, many of these players have joined our main team, like Lesort.
Mhm.
Um, so we did have a good selection of codes again. Um, so Zelimir gave us 25, Lesort, good results. But then we did have a problem with um, the captain selection, and that's because our captain selection for first round didn't do well. That was the day for us, and then Giedraitis unfortunately didn't have a good game. So going on to this round,
We have
um,
Ledey as captain again.
again, and why? Let me give you the rationale around this. First of all, the changes we did. We offloaded Giedraitis, um, and we brought in Clyburn. Um, you would say deep value, but yeah, we actually decided we need to pay quite much for some points here. We changed Blood because we have him on our alley-oop dunks team with Winston, as we think he's actually the main hope of Bayern getting the first win. And we changed Lesor, that he's joining the alley-oop dunks team with Kumadze, that it was our must choice for a deep value selection. So why we have Captain Ledey? We were thinking, and Constantinos, you said about Jones being captain, or even Musa could have been captain. But the thing is, Ledey is a kind of player that, if he plays well, he actually explodes and he can really give you high numbers. So, for example, as you can see here, he has two very mediocre games in terms of his quality, and then the rounds two and three, he's getting 25 and 32, right? So because we know we have Clyburn on day 2, we give a try to Lede. Um, although Zone seems more safe option of getting something around 20, as we have the Clyburn assurance, we'll give a try for Lede.
Yeah. And Jones is playing at home versus Alba. So technically speaking, Lede will have an easier game, but I don't think it will be that easy because Žalgiris is a very tough team to beat.
Yeah.
So I think this team is starting to get in the right way. Let's say we may lost a bit. The we got out of the path, but I see it has very good players still. And also, if you see, even from top tier market, we have, for example, Jones, who cost 11.4 credits. He's not that expensive compared, for example, to Mesic and Mike James, of course. Um, and I think, of course, we decided to keep coach Obradovic because he's playing at home versus Žalgiris, and he wants again to build the momentum. As we said for Maccabi, is the same for Partizan. So I think, as you see, this is our team. I think we have two, let's say, exciting teams. Of course, this team has more risks, except Clyburn, of course. But I think we build both teams with the right mindset. Of course, some players may give you, some players may not give you, but I think based on the players we had, and we could change because keep in mind we have up to 3 changes. I think we did the best possible we can do to improve both teams.
Let's see. Let's hope we all have a great game and a good round, and we watch some actually nice games in the TV as well or in the stadiums. And hope everyone, guys, you get good results as well, and you enjoyed our video. And if you like it, just follow us and subscribe in our channel if you want.
Yes, and also don't forget in Twitter we'll post every update. So if you want, please subscribe, uh, press the like button for the video, and should we say see you in the next round?
Yeah, we're gonna give maybe some updates of our scores through Twitter, and then definitely see you on the next round. Thank you all for coming. Bye for now.
Thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Peace.